Good morning, pregame crew. How are ya? It's Tuesday, April 25th, 2023, 6:20 a.m. Mountain Time, 8:20 a.m. Eastern Time. Good morning. Let's do an audio visual check. We will officially get started in 10 minutes. Between now and then, I'm going to say hello to my friends and start with some chart requests, get my TA muscles kind of warmed up, And the cool thing is, at 7 a.m. my time, 9 a.m. Eastern, Charting Man Dan will be going live with an open house. He's going to show you what we do inside our community every day for members only. He's going to show you free to the public today. So, good morning. Hi, Shake and Bake, Keith, Greg, hey Nugget, Card Lady, Casey, hi Carlos, Danny, Sam, Renaissance Man, sure, hey Zach, Ed, B-Hawk, Homebody, Tuscaloosa, Bum, how are you? I hope you're not a bum. Okay. Well, Lori, see, that is very generous of you with your comments. Some of the smartest people on the internet in here. I think we do have some smart people in here, though. Okay, LTC, USDT. Potential daily bear flag. 91.49 keeps a daily bear flag alive. See why I start early? Have to get warmed up. 4 hour, getting these tiny higher highs without a lot of follow through. I wouldn't trust these bulls as far as I can throw them. If this volume continues, then maybe they have something believable going on. But look at these 4 upper wicks of bears selling into these pops. Just be careful. You have an hourly uptrend right now. If you bought the dip, you would stay in long. As long as these 15-minute EMAs stay below you, you could stay in long. Otherwise, I would definitely be looking for that daily bear flag, and bears will be looking to top fish. Good morning, Poroko. How are you? Hey, Duke, Mary, Sarana, Mila, Mal, Caesar, KK. Good morning. Oh, thanks, Mila. Thank you. CGC. It's the same story, but a different day. What was the 101? We do have a support left back from September 2015, but that's a mess. Don't trust those bulls as far as you can throw them, because they are not proving anything on any time frame. Not a time frame. Nothing. Nada. As my husband likes to say, Nadia Comaneci. Nadia. Nada. Nothing. Zero. They're proving nothing. $1.26 support, then $1.33 resistance, and then $1.35. Bears are the victors here. You will get a good bounce one day, but that day hasn't been for a long time. XLU. You have a triple top at 70.11, 70.09, 70.16. So you have a daily triple top. 4 hour looks fine. I love the shape of this chart. These are one of my favorite setups. Bullish. Got to squeeze. You're holding the 50 RSI. I call that the trampoline setup. So above 70.16, you have a resistance at 70.25 and after hours level right there. Looks fine, looks healthy. Hey, Lou and Catahoula. Oh, Duke. Okay. Well, you know what? You got a free crappy analysis of CGC anyway. But yes, good morning, Chart Guys community too. XLF. I said this last week, and I will continue to say it. Yes, this is a very healthy pattern. We're holding the daily 8 EMA. We're in a daily uptrend. But that is one big brick wall for me to have a daily 50 and 200 MA overhead. That is just tough for me to want to go long up here. That's why I've been constantly shorting JPM, where JPM is on the weekly chart and where XLF is on the daily chart. I think bounces are for shorting. FRC, I don't know if y'all saw First Republic Bank's earnings. They lost billions of dollars of deposits in the first quarter of this year with the bank debacle, and they refused to answer any questions at the end of their earnings call. No Q&A. That was kind of telling. So pretty bad news coming out of FRC. It's impacting the banking sector, and I think bounces are for shorting. What kind of setup could you look for? Possibly a 5-minute back burner. So yesterday's 5-minute overbought provided a good short opportunity. I would continue to watch for that, for potential shorts. Hey, Dajit. Nope, never looked at SBLV. Low volatility. No. I mean, it looks good because we've had low volatility. SPHB. High beta. Wow. Fourth weekly inside bar. That's good liquidity. Well, we could anticipate that it's having all these inside bars because we know that volatility has dried up. At least the high beta has. So having the fourth weekly inside bar makes sense. I would assume earnings will break this out of this tight range this week and or PCE. I did get started a little early today at 6:20 instead of my normal 6:22 because I have to end this broadcast at 6:50. So in 23 minutes, I have to shut down so Charting Man Dan can go live. So just be aware of that. I have an alarm set. So I typically rip through about 25 charts in 25 minutes. Well, now I'm going to rip through about 25 charts in 20 minutes today. And I will be going quickly and efficiently, but I hope still effectively, and give you technical analysis that you can use for the trading day. Xavier, how are ya? How are ya? How are ya? Okay, we have 3 minutes till we officially get started. And I said officially. This is who I am. I'm Charkow Lori, at Charkow Lori. If you want to give me a follow, that would be lovely on Twitter. And you can check us out at chartguys.com. What we do at the Chart Guys is we teach technical analysis. Okay. And I have a webinar coming up Thursday at 5 p.m. Eastern. And I'm going to put that link right here. So I have a webinar coming up Thursday at 5 p.m. Eastern where I go over how to define your edge. I've talked to you about your 30-second elevator speech that you should be able to give to anyone explaining your technical edge. And I'm going to go over how do you find your edge? How do you hone in on the details? How do you find an edge that's suitable for your personality? And we'll go over that Thursday at 5 p.m. Eastern. I'm very much looking forward to that. I still got a ton of work to do, but it will be fun. Yep, we'll be looking at Bitcoin miners. No, Elizabeth, you are amazing. And we will have the open house again in 21 minutes. Big love to you, Matt. That's very nice of you. Thank you. Yeah, we'll look at the Bitcoin miners. We'll look at them. All right, so I've introduced myself. I said hello, and what I do here every morning is I go over indices, commodities, crypto, movers and shakers of the day. I have notes that are off screen, and I will copy and paste those for TCG members when I am done. Let's look at this handy-dandy table. So the table is looking more bearish than bullish today, and we'll go over some of the finer details in this. This is just a quick snapshot, just real quick. Lori, what are you seeing? I'm seeing more bearish things that are lining up than bullish things. I will say something is really strange this morning with bonds. They are super bullish. That's typically a tailwind for indices. It's not really having that type of impact on indices yet, but it is strangely bullish, like really bullish. So that stood out to me this morning. Okay, so ES. So on ES, we have a potential weekly bull flag. There's nothing wrong with this chart. On the daily, we're holding the 21 EMA. Nothing wrong with this chart. 4 hour, we got plenty wrong with this chart. On the 4 hour, we're getting lower lows. Now, these lower lows are not getting a ton of follow through. So lower low, lower low, lower low. They're not getting a ton of follow through. So that kind of gives way to a potential broadening formation. Now, I wouldn't take this to the bank because we have a 4 hour downtrend. We have an hourly downtrend. So bears are in control. Look at that, just like classic bear flag type formation we got going on. So this bounce right now is for shorting until bulls prove otherwise. So yes, the burden is on the bulls. Okay, so that's ES, and the key levels are support 4130, resistance 4161.75, and as I said yesterday, we're going to continue to play bangarang within 4100 to 4200, and it'll take one of these earnings reactions to bust us out of this range. And yes, bust us out of range is a word. And so it'll take either earnings or PCE on Thursday. So we have some, PCE is on Friday, GDP is on Thursday. So today we have data in an hour, we have building permits, and then at 10 a.m. we have consumer confidence and new home sales. Any of these could move the market, so just be aware of those. And some of these data points are after the market opens. That's always good to know. And we have the API estimates after hours at 4:30 Eastern for oil traders out there. Okay. Hang Seng was down 1.71 here, and DAX is flat. So Hang Seng was pretty red last night. And sometimes we can glean a few clues from the overseas markets if they were pretty heavy. And Hang Seng was pretty heavy last night. Okay, ES, I gave you those levels. Now let's go look at NASDAQ. Now NASDAQ has the behavior of a falling wedge. It's getting these lower lows without a lot of follow through. However, how much leeway can a bull give a bear and say, okay, well, you keep taking it down, but we'll have our day one day, hee hee. Well, that day ain't been in a while. They have not had a day since April 18th, maybe. So lower lows without a lot of follow through, and we're getting suppressed by the EMA's overhead on the hourly chart, and that is acting as staunch, and I guess that's a word, staunch resistance. Yeah, hit the like button. Hello, hello. Oh, y'all are sweet. I got some nice people. This is awesome. I want to be surrounded by a community of these people every day. Oh, wait, I am in TCG. I have the most awesome community ever. Okay. Resistance on NASDAQ. 1302725, 1306775, support 12966, and that ever so important key support 1292550. Y'all remember yesterday the table was a push? It was 69 and 69 and a half. Y'all remember here? It was almost even. That was such a good clue for the day, wasn't it? Because it was a push-pull day. We had a very mixed bag out there. And if we don't have all the sectors pulling together at once, it's hard to have a trend day. And trend days are the days that typically I make the most money on a trend day. So I'm hoping for a trend day today. And if I had to guess, gun to head, I would say it's to the downside if we were going to get one. Not saying we are. I still expect a lot of hurry up and wait, push, pull while we wait for these earnings. Okay, RTY is weak. Y'all look at that. That's some weak sauce. Yes, I said sauce. Resistance 1801 and 1809. Support 1769 and then 1754. So let's just get it straight in our head for RTY. Weekly, downtrend. Lower high anticipated. Daily, downtrend. 4 hour, downtrend. Hourly, downtrend. 15 minutes, the only one in an uptrend, but we're still expecting an hourly lower high. Do you have it straight in your head now? So the Russell is the risk on sector, meaning when people are bullish, the Russell, they're going after the more risky set of stocks out there, companies that are small to mid caps. So the Russell is weak. That's a risk off. That means people are not putting a lot of risk on right now. And it's the same thing for Bitcoin. Bitcoin is a risk on asset, and I have to like slow down and get it right in my head. Risk on asset, and it was weak overnight. We broke through that 27,000 yesterday. We hit 26,965, and it's red overnight, and we're rejecting right here at the hourly 50 MA. Yep, I will look at Bitcoin and Ethereum every day. Love you more, Vlad. For IWM relative strength, you can look at XBI and KRE, Simeon, but the Russell, let me show you the Russell. You see that number 2,000 right there? You see it? That is how many companies are inside the Russell. There are 2,000 companies. It's a noisy sector, if you will. It's super noisy. NASDAQ, you see that number right there? That's 100. There's only 100 companies inside the NASDAQ. SPY, do you see that? There's only 500 companies in SPY. So we have a lot of companies inside IWM. There are 2,000, so it's super noisy. So it's difficult to say, I'm just going to look at KRE, the regional bank ETF, and get a good gauge on IWM. No, that can be very difficult and challenging. I would say KRE is definitely weighing on IWM today because of FRC's earnings. Here, they are down 21%. They reported terrible news on their loss of deposits and customers, and they didn't answer any questions after earnings. So y'all, with these type of names, listen to me carefully. And I know I like to preach. I have a lot of kids, so I'm just nagging by nature. It's just the way it is. These type of names, when something is in motion, they tend to stay in motion. It's physics. When things are in motion, they tend to stay in motion. So this downtrend, don't try to be a hero and buy that dip immediately. Now, we could open and we could bounce all freaking day and get over 1685. We could. Nobody knows what's going to happen. Nobody. However, odds favor, if we're going to line up probabilities, odds favor more downside action on FRC. So don't be a hero. Don't try to be. Then what do? If something's down 20%, do I want to short it in the hole? No. I go look for names that are potential laggards like PACW. PACW is a regional bank. It's only down 3.71%. So if FRC, let's look at what that... One second. This is our community. So First Republic, 1.2 million estimated deposits at the end period. They had estimated $136 billion of deposits. In the first quarter, they only got $104 billion. They're cutting their workforce by 20 to 25%. And it just keeps going. The bad news just doesn't stop there. I mean, it's some pretty bad news. Total deposits down 1.7 from year end. Yeah, pretty bad earnings. So there was another data point that I'm not finding on a quick search, so I'm going to ignore that because I told y'all I have to be efficient with time today, didn't I? Yep, I did see the NVIDIA got an upgrade. Same Capitalist, same. Did you see XBEV? XBEV got an upgrade from 420 to 930. Do they not just pull these numbers out of thin air? Yeah, you know me, OPP. Y'all make me laugh. So PACW, I'm looking for a laggard bear play today in light of all that soapboxing I just did with FRC. Back to Bitcoin, it is bearish. 27595 is your resistance. 2759569 support. 27194. Ethereum is weaker. Look, we're down 0.95. Bitcoin's only down 0.42%. We are weaker with Ethereum. So I am watching the Bitcoin miners, for whoever asked me about that earlier, for a potential bounce. I traded it yesterday for a scalp. I'm looking for a scalp trade today, but we need Bitcoin to behave. Bitcoin has to bounce for Riot or Mara to get their bounce going. They need Bitcoin to bounce, and it's not showing any signs of bouncing yet, and it's continually getting suppressed by hourly moving averages. Gold, nice bounce there on the 4 hour. 4-hour double bottom at 1986, 1984. You have support at 2011. So nice bounce, but bears are going to be waiting up here. Odds favor lower highs on the hourly chart and the 4-hour chart. Okay, Bitcoin miners, that's M-I-N-E-R-S. They mine, M-I-N-E, they mine Bitcoin. Kind of like gold miners mine gold. Well, Bitcoin miners that actually produce the digital codes for Bitcoin, they consider that mining. So it's M-I-N-E-R-S. All right, so oil is still pulling back. I ain't doing nothing with it. Yep, and that's proper English in Louisiana. Until we get a gap fill, 75.72, potential daily bear flag. API estimates after hours. Bears are waiting for a bounce to short against 7907. And for those of you that continue to mention nat gas and you're looking for bounces, what are you doing? I swear I like to be respectful at all times, but what the hell are you thinking? I'm cracking myself up this morning because literally when I see people type out, I'm watching for a nat gas bounce. Why? Why? There's so many other beautiful things to trade. This is a mess. Short it. Short bounces until it stops working. 15-minute overbought conditions have been gifts for shorting. And I would stay with that mindset as long as this crap looks like this. NASDAQ, I forgot to cover one thing. No, that's not. I was looking for potential inverse head and shoulders earlier, but this is taking too long on the right side, so scratch that. Yeah, I can look at Ford. When y'all ask me about a name multiple times, I don't always have time to do chart requests. It makes me think that you're stuck in it and worries me. Okay, potential daily bear flag. You're in gap fill territory. Gap fills at 1217. Okay, this is wrong. What is going on? A daily lower high is anticipated compared to 1276. TradingView has some errors on this chart. So you filled that gap and you have a gap fill up here at 1217. We're in a daily downtrend. Hourly overbought conditions should present a nice area to potentially scout a short. So over 1218, your next resistance is 1236. Microsoft and Google have earnings after hours. And again, I know, capitalists, I never use bad words ever, ever, ever. But sometimes in my head, I have to say one here and there. Okay. Apple is below the hourly EMAs. We do have a lower wick of bulls attempting to buy this dip here. And if you've been here for a while, I've been doing the pregame show for 2 years. I've probably cursed twice, so I don't curse on the regular, so it's okay to bring your kids around. But that was just the only thing I could think of to say. Yeah, bounces are for shorting. 5-minute overbought. Could be a good shorting opportunity on Apple. That's not super clear to me, so I won't trade Apple. I have to see the setup clearly in order to trade it. Amazon, I told y'all, what was that? Friday, which it had a beautiful day Friday. We were running into that 200 MA and it just proved to be too much resistance yesterday. So 106.53 could be a top fish opportunity on Amazon. They have earnings this week. Yep, earnings Thursday after hours. NVIDIA. Let me look at my notes on NVIDIA hourly EQ. Bulls defending 21 EMA for now. So we do have an hourly EQ here. Lower high, higher low. So we're just tightening up in here. We're fighting to hold that 21 EMA. But bears are looking to top fish against 281.10. I don't see a clear setup for a trade today. Right here, right now. It doesn't mean it won't develop. 158.61 is your new key support. It's the new earnings low. We have all these gaps that I'm going to continue to mark off. Just about every time I pull up this chart, I'm going to mark off these gaps. So you remember that not all gaps have to be filled, but they can act as magnets. So just be careful buying this dip on Tesla. Tesla has relative weakness in pre-market as well as the last few days after earnings. JPM. Dan is coming on YouTube in 15 minutes. So on JPM, I continue to top fish this thing. I shorted it here. And JPM just trades super technical. So I like a top fish against 140.94. Why do I keep picking on JPM? Because we're looking for a weekly lower high as the more likely scenario compared to 142.92. So we closed yesterday with it. Yesterday with an inside bar. So we have a double top at 141.11 and 141.10. I like that top fish again. And we'll see if it's heavy today with FRC earnings. So I like JPM short. And you know what? I'm going to give you that link for Dan's live because I should have already pulled that up. One second. Here you go. Open house. He is the man. You know that? He is. Okay. And I want to check on every single name y'all want me to check on. Just know that I have limited time today compared to other days. PACW, I like a top fish setup on here. I'm already in short. I'm in short here at 10.90. I'm in short and my stop is over $11. I'm going to sneeze. Excuse me, and my sneezy self. So I like PACW, shorting it as a laggard to FRC. Shop. When you see these flat bottom breaks, you see this clear flat bottom right here. 47.53, 47.54. If we were to break through that, we have no support over here. I like that for a top fish setup against 48.28, shorting shop against 48.28 because odds favor a lower high compared to yesterday's high. Simeon, I bet it does. Bank of America has a pretty tight range and it does trade very technical. Yep, very similar. Okay, XBI, I hope you took that short yesterday and it's the same thought process I had yesterday with the short. We're up against the daily 200 MA. We have a triple top. And now we're looking for a lower high compared to 81.48. I like a top fish against that. Now, if the market comes out swinging bullish as a result of this data that's coming out, then I'm going to back away from these ideas. But today, I'm looking for the bear trades because that is the thesis, is that we're more bearish than we are bullish. You're welcome. He is the man. Okay, I'm going to pin this. So this is the open house is happening today right here. So I've pinned that if you want to click on that link because Dan will be live in 10 minutes. My alarm is about to go off, so I'm going to shut it down. I'm sorry I was unable to go over all your chart requests, but Charting Man Dan will be live in 10 minutes. You can click on that link and watch his show. This is a show we do every day for members. We're opening up to the public. One day a month, we open it up to the public, and today's the day. All right, thank you for being here and use stop losses.